Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm here with Caitlin doing a book talk about The Glass Castle by Janetta Walls. So the book The Glass Castle is about a girl named Janetta Walls who grows up with her parents who are both stubborn and irresponsible and kind of crazy and out there.
And dangerous in ways.
Very dangerous. The parents' name is Rex and Rosemary, and they had 4 children. In the beginning, they kind of lived like nomads, and they moved all over the place, and they had a really random kind of location destination. They take their little minivan, just drive around and find a place to stay.
And they'd wreck everything they stayed in.
Yeah, and they were very irresponsible. Like Janetta would be put in the hospital, and they didn't want to pay the fees, so they decided that they should just sneak her out in the middle of the night, which isn't a good idea. What did you think about Janetta's parents?
I thought that they were very irresponsible, and they didn't really care about the health and safety. They just cared about getting out and not having to pay. And
do you remember the time when the mother, she had a chocolate bar and the kids were freezing out in the cold one winter night, and she saved it and ate it all by herself, and she didn't care about her family? What did you think about that?
Yeah, I thought that was very selfish and wrong of her to do. She was just caring about herself.
It's just you should care more about your family. It's
we learned in The Heifer.
It's you need to care about your community and everyone who's in it, because being selfish isn't going to make your way through life. And the kids, they were unhappy with their childhood, and so they all pushed really hard to get out of that and try to make it onto the world. Two of the siblings, Janetta and her brother, they went off to New York, while the one, she actually couldn't get out right away because she was younger, and she had to go to rehab, and she wasn't as such a happy, successful story in the end. But it's amazing to think about how you can come from poverty and make it a successful life.
Yeah.
And it just, they really didn't have any family other than their immediate family.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think about that? How they didn't have family members who they keep in contact with, really, except the grandparents.
Well, I think that it's not that different because a lot of people don't really have a lot of family close to them, and I don't know, I didn't think that it was too bad.
And then about how Rex, the father, was an alcoholic, and he said he would try to work on it, but he'd actually just take advantage of his kids. If you were in that situation, you were one of the kids, what would have you said to your father to make him not have to, make him stop drinking?
I would tell him what I really, how I really felt, and tell him that it's not a safe environment to be around.
Because it wasn't safe for the kids. The kids, many times he was on rampage, throwing things, hurting people, and it wasn't a pleasant outcome he caused. So, the astounding thing about Janetta Walls is, though, she was a very intelligent girl. She went to not thousands. She went maybe 6 schools in her life, and half the time she actually wasn't at school because she was traveling out with her family. But she was extraordinary at math, and she was a good writer, and she was a bright girl. And the brother was good at math, and the one sister, she was so young, but they were all very bright kids. And even though the parents, treated them poorly and stuff, the kids still loved them very much. And it's kind of they taught them some really hard lessons, and they grew up in a very tough environment, and in the end it paid off because now they're strong and they're confident and they can make it out in the real world.
Yeah.
So The Glass Castle, I recommend. It's a very good book.
Yeah, it was a good book. It was hard to put down. It's easy to get into.
Yeah, every page you just want to keep flipping and flipping it.
You want to know what happens next. I recommend it.
It's a sad, a funny, a quirky, and a loving book, and I recommend it.
Yeah.
So, Glass Castle, read it.